Hello, this is just my quick impressions of the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, produced by Michael Bay, directed by some dude I've never heard of. This is just part one, non-spoiler-tastic review. This is just me telling you my 2 cents. The film is technically proficient. The writing is okay. You can tell the sequel had to go. You could tell the script had to go through a few revisions, and you can also tell that there were some reshots with new stuff cut in after the uproar that happened from fans of this franchise. So before we go any further, I'm just going to tell you right now, this movie is not, I sat in judgment of this film as someone who, I'm not going to say I still am a huge fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up with this shit. Of course I'm a huge fan. So basically, what I'm going to say is that it was decent. It was decent. It was fairly decent. Now, with that being said, there are a few issues. But I'm not going to get into those until the second part of this review, where I'll be getting into spoilers. So basically, we'll first go into, as I said, the basic point of it. Graphics, obviously. The turtles look... these aren't the turtles you and I grew up with, but they still retain the essence of the turtles. You know what I mean? If you get what I'm saying. Leonardo looks like Leonardo. Donatello looks like Donatello. Raphael looks like Raphael. And Michelangelo looks like Michelangelo. The only character that kind of looks vastly different from what I would anticipate them to look is Splinter. And, it's a wash. Personally speaking, I'm not too excited about Megan Fox being April O'Neil. As a matter of fact, I think she's the biggest problem with this movie is Megan Fox as April O'Neil. But I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'll just, I'm just going to keep it rolling for the first part of this. So basically, it has everything you want from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. It's basically the movie from 23 years ago redone all over again. Has it been that long? 23 years? Yes, it has. 23 years ago. Basically all over again. It's the same shit. It's basically the same movie, just done for with a more modern twist. So the Foot Clan aren't ninjas. They use guns. That's not a spoiler. You should figure that out by now. The Splinter is still a badass. Orokusaki, whatever. Orokusaki. Dude with anger issues. So basically, all those things are still there. It tells the origin story of the turtles with a few embellishments, because we gotta have embellishments. Basically, it's your prototypical thing going on there. Just your atypical origin story, them dealing with the Shredder and his minions and saving the city. Typical Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles plot. So, final judgment, it's decent. If you're a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you will not pop a blood vessel watching this film. So, yeah, it's fairly decent. Not as bad as I hoped. Or I shouldn't say. Not as bad as I feared, but not as good as I hoped. I'm hoping that when they make the inevitable sequel to this film, that they will be more mindful of the subject material. So with that, I'd say my overall judgment of this film, for the non-spoiler portion of this review, is fairly decent. Meh. A partially thumb up. A partial thumb up. So, with that said, I bid you adieu. Stay tuned for the second part of this review. Hello, it's time for the second part, the spoiler-tastic part of this review, after the cut. Okay, it's time to get down to the spoiler section of this video. Hopefully the ensuing placard before this gave you time to, leave if you don't want to have the story spoiled. But basically, what can I say about this film? The biggest problem with this film is Megan Fox as April O'Neil. I mean, there's no other way I can put it. There's no other way I can put it. Megan Fox as April O'Neil is the biggest part. As a matter of fact, the turtles were April O'Neil's pets, along with Splinter. It was an unnecessary plot point. Didn't need to be told. You can tell that they pulled the Shredder out of their ass. There's certain film mistakes that are made. For example, the dude who plays the Shredder, you never see him inside of the armor. You assume it's him inside the armor. There are like 3 scenes where you can tell they just shot that and spliced it into the movie, where William Fichtner is now relegated to the second tier bad guy. Like literally, and the sad thing is that none of this shit would have had to be put in place if they hadn't fucked with the canon in the first place. Like, what was so hard about casting a Japanese dude to play the Shredder? I don't understand how that's difficult. I mean, this is in Hollywood. Hollywood has a huge Asian population. Well, California has the whole West Coast has a huge Asian population. They couldn't find one Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, anyone. This dude with a kind of a deep voice to play the Shredder, that's too hard for you, huh? You can't find it. No. You couldn't go and find the dude from the original movies. He'd be like in his 50s now, but hell, we just need his face. Fake scar across face. It's the Shredder. It's the Shredder. No. Megan Fox is the weakest part of this movie, in my opinion. I know some people are going to get mad when I say that and be like, but I like Megan Fox. Listen, okay. Megan Fox is a shitty April O'Neil, okay? She's a shitty April O'Neil. And, but Megan Fox is only a symptom of the disease that was the flaw with this movie. The movie itself is a solid redo of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 23 years ago. Was it 23 years ago? I saw it when I was 6, so 23 years ago. But Michael Bay takes it down a few notches, because some of the things done in this movie were just unnecessary. They didn't need to be done. They didn't need to be added, and yet they were, because Michael Bay was involved. Megan Fox shouldn't have been April O'Neil. William Fichtner should not have been in this film. I'm sorry. He was unnecessary. He was an unnecessary person to be in this film. Not only was he unnecessary, but literally you could have taken him out and the film still would have been okay. The Foot Clan, no longer ninjas, they're just motherfuckers with guns. Because, And the irony is that the turtles are bulletproof, so why in the hell... Why would you... Why would you have dudes with guns? Oh, they're such a threat. The turtles are bulletproof now. Why the fuck? You know, it's just... Michael Bay did not need to be involved with this film. At all, period. If he hadn't been involved with the film, it would have been, probably would have been a better movie. It would have been a solid action movie. Not great, but not terrible either. I'm looking forward to seeing the weekend totals. It'll probably, I'm guessing it's probably going to hit 60 million total. It's probably not going to be a total flop like, what was that film? Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz and Jason, whatever his name is, I forgot. The dude from Saving Sarah Marshall or whatever. Whatever. Basically, you know, the movie just... You look at all the scenes. Okay, there were spliced in scenes to fix the major fuck up that Michael Bay got involved. They had to reshoot several scenes in order to get in their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You can tell these scenes were reshot and they just added it in there. You can tell they spliced in the Shredder, because William Fichtner was originally supposed to be the Shredder inside of that Shredder suit, even though you never see the fucker's face. You never see the Shredder's face. It was supposed to be William Fichtner, and then they changed it at the last second and added, you know, another dude to be the Shredder. It's just... Why? Why? Why must you, everything you touch, Michael Bay, must you improve? You can't improve shit. I'm sorry. You are not Richard Donner, okay? You ain't Richard Donner. You ain't Tim Burton. You can't improve jack shit, okay? And even Tim Burton can't improve shit anymore. Like, I remember when Tim Burton did Batman and Batman Returns. He improved upon the Batman legacy. Like, for someone who never was self-proclaimed read the Batman books, he really got how dark and gritty and shitty Gotham City is. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Gotham City. Metropolis, I could live in Metropolis. Gotham City? No. No. He got how dark and dank and just downright disgusting that city is. Okay? That's how it needs to be. It's just how it needs to be. But they oh Jesus. So basically, once you take in the spoiler portion of this movie, it's still a decent film with a few extra negatives put onto it because of Michael Bay. It's Bay-tastic, baby. It's still a solid film. Hopefully they will do better in the inevitable sequel. Do better in the inevitable sequel. The sad thing is that, you know, today's kids will never know that theme song we all grew up with. They don't understand the significance of a lot of these things. And they'll get the lore wrong, which hurts my head, but whatever. So overall, I keep the same score for this film. It's a part cocked, thumbs up. You know, watch it, but you know, it's not great. It's okay. It's a little bit above meh. Okay, it's it's an okay. Watch it if you want to. Watch it if you're a fan. It's not as bad as I hoped, or it's not as bad as I feared, but it's not as good as I hoped. The big detriment to this film is Michael Bay and Megan Fox, in my opinion. And so, yeah, there we go. So, that's the end of this video. Stay tuned for more excellent content. Goodbye.